Hi everyone. Today I'm diving into something that most men don't really talk about, but almost everyone does. I'm talking about masturbation, and more specifically, what happens when you do it every single day. Now, you might have heard it's completely harmless, or maybe you've heard the opposite, that it's dangerous. But what if the truth is a little more complicated? Because new studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic suggest that your daily habits might actually be affecting your prostate in ways you've never imagined. Don't worry, this isn't about judgment or moral talk. It's about understanding your body scientifically and knowing what's actually happening inside as you age. So, if you're over 40 or just curious about men's health, stick around because in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what daily masturbation might be doing to your prostate, and it's not what you think. Let's start with the science behind it. All right, so before we talk about whether daily masturbation is good or bad, let's start with what's actually happening inside your body. The prostate is a small gland, about the size of a walnut, that sits just below the bladder. Its main job? To produce the fluid that mixes with sperm to form semen. That means every time you ejaculate, your prostate is actively working. Now here's where it gets interesting. Scientists have found that ejaculation plays a key role in what they call prostate fluid turnover. Think of it like this. When you release, you're helping your body flush out old fluids and make room for new ones. Some studies, like one published in European Urology in 2016, even showed that men who ejaculated around 21 times per month had a lower risk of developing prostate-related issues compared to those who did it less often. That doesn't mean more is always better, but it does suggest that regular activity might help keep things functioning smoothly. Another point that researchers from Harvard and the NIH have discussed is circulation. Ejaculation increases blood flow to the pelvic region, which may support overall prostate health by improving oxygen delivery and reducing fluid buildup. However, experts also emphasize that the benefits depend on balance and on your age, hormones, and general lifestyle. Because as men get older, testosterone levels start to drop, and the prostate can become more sensitive to changes in hormone levels and physical stress. That's why what might feel perfectly fine at 25 could have a different impact when you're 50. The key takeaway here isn't to stop or to overdo it. It's to understand how your body works so you can make smarter, healthier choices. In short, ejaculation itself isn't harmful. It's a natural biological process that can even play a role in maintaining prostate health. But like anything else in the body, moderation and awareness matter. Now that we understand how it works, let's look at what might actually happen when it becomes a daily habit, especially for men over 40. Now, let's talk about the side that most people don't mention. What happens when masturbation becomes a daily routine, especially after 40? At this stage of life, your body doesn't recover the same way it did in your 20s. Hormones shift, energy levels change, and your prostate becomes more sensitive to both physical and hormonal stress. When stimulation happens too frequently, the prostate can become slightly inflamed or irritated, not necessarily in a dangerous way, but enough to cause mild discomfort or that heavy feeling in the lower pelvis. Some men describe it as a dull ache or a sensation of fullness. While this isn't uncommon, doing it every single day without giving your body time to rest might make these sensations more noticeable. There's also the hormone factor. Frequent ejaculation can lead to short-term dips in testosterone and dopamine, the chemicals that regulate energy, motivation, and sexual desire. That's why some men report feeling temporarily fatigued or less focused after doing it too often. A review from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, suggested that overstimulation may alter the brain's reward system, making satisfaction harder to achieve over time. It's not about addiction. It's about how your brain adapts to constant stimulation. And let's not forget about the emotional side. For some men, daily masturbation can slowly replace physical intimacy or serve as a stress coping mechanism. While that's understandable, it can also reduce natural libido or make real-life connection feel less fulfilling. Experts recommend paying attention to whether it still feels like a choice or if it's starting to feel like something you have to do. To be clear, masturbation itself isn't harmful, but when it becomes excessive, it can interfere with balance, physically, hormonally, and mentally. Listening to your body and noticing changes in energy, sleep, or mood can help you find your healthy limit. So, what's the right amount, and how do doctors actually recommend balancing it? Let's talk about that next in part 3. So, what do doctors actually say about how often men, especially those over 40, should masturbate? The truth is, there isn't a single perfect number. Everyone's body is different. Your overall health, hormone levels, stress, and even sleep can all affect how much sexual activity feels right for you. Still, many urologists and men's health experts agree that moderation is key. For most men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, a range of 2 to 4 times per week seems to be a healthy balance. This gives your prostate enough stimulation to maintain circulation and fluid turnover, while still allowing time for recovery. If you notice you're feeling drained, sore, or mentally foggy afterward, it may be a sign to scale back a bit and let your body rest. Remember, the goal isn't to count numbers, it's to listen to your body's feedback. Some signs that you might be overdoing it include pelvic discomfort, burning when urinating, low energy in the morning, or a reduced desire for real intimacy. These symptoms don't mean something is seriously wrong, but they're your body's way of saying, hey, slow down a little. Experts also point out that overall lifestyle plays a huge role in prostate and hormone health. Regular exercise, good sleep, managing stress, and eating nutrient-rich foods can make a big difference. Nutrients like zinc, found in shellfish and pumpkin seeds, and lycopene, found in tomatoes, support prostate function naturally. And don't underestimate pelvic floor exercises or Kegels. They improve circulation and strengthen muscles that support the prostate. The takeaway here isn't about avoiding masturbation. It's about balance. Healthy sexual activity is part of overall wellness, but your body also needs recovery time to maintain hormonal and emotional stability. Now that we've explored the science, the risks, and what experts suggest, let's wrap everything up and talk about what this really means for your long-term prostate health. So, what's the bottom line? Daily masturbation isn't necessarily destroying your prostate, but it's not a magic health fix either. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. Your prostate is an active organ that benefits from stimulation, but just like any other part of your body, it also needs time to recover. The key is awareness, paying attention to how your body responds, your energy levels, and your overall well-being. For men over 40, maintaining a balanced lifestyle matters more than counting how often you do it. Eating clean, exercising, staying hydrated, and managing stress all play just as important a role in protecting your prostate as your sexual habits do. And if you ever experience persistent discomfort or changes in your urinary or sexual health, it's always smart to check in with a healthcare professional because prevention is better than panic. So remember, this isn't about guilt or restriction. It's about understanding your body and making mindful choices. If this video helped you see things differently, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below. Do you think frequency really matters? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Up next, we'll explore natural ways to boost testosterone safely after 40.